Right now, millions of Americans are missing out on critical Social Security changes that could put an extra $672 in their pockets every year. And here's what's even more shocking. Some of you watching this video might not receive your Social Security payment next month at all. Not because something's wrong with your account, but because of a scheduling change that's already in effect. I know that got your attention. And it should. Because what I'm about to share with you over the next several minutes could be the difference between financial stress and financial security in 2026. My name is Host, and today we're cutting through all the confusion around Social Security, SSI, SSDI, and federal retirement benefits. No fluff, no complicated jargon, just the facts you need to know right now. So let me ask you this. Do you know exactly how much more money you'll be getting in January? Have you checked your My Social Security account in the last 2 weeks? And here's the big one. Do you know why there's no SSI payment scheduled for November? If you're not 100% certain about any of these answers, you need to hear what's coming next. The 2.8% increase that changes everything. Let's start with the news that's affecting 71 million Americans right now. On October 24th, the Social Security Administration announced a 2.8% cost of living adjustment for 2026. Now, you might be thinking 2.8%? That doesn't sound like much. But hold on, let's break down what this actually means for your bank account. If you're receiving retirement benefits, you're looking at an average increase of $56 per month. That's $672 per year. For those of you on Social Security disability insurance, that's $38 more each month, bringing your average monthly benefit to around $1,618. And if you're receiving supplemental security income, your maximum individual benefit is jumping from $967 to $994. Now, here's what most people don't realize. This 2.8% increase actually exceeds the 10-year average COLA of 2.6%. Some years you've seen less. Remember 2016 when there was no increase at all? Or 2017 with just 0.3%. This adjustment is responding to real inflation that you've been feeling at the grocery store, at the gas pump, and on your utility bills. But let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually calculated what a COLA increase means for your specific situation? Because here's the truth, that $56 average could be more or less depending on your current benefit amount. If you're receiving $2,000 per month right now, 2.8% means you're getting $56. If you're at $1,500, you're looking at $42 extra per month. The payment schedule mystery you need to solve now. Let's talk about something that's causing massive confusion right now, and frankly, it's something that could cause you real problems if you're not prepared. If you receive SSI, listen carefully. There is no standalone SSI payment in November 2025. None. Your November payment was actually sent to you on October 31st. Did you notice an extra payment at the end of October? That wasn't a mistake. That wasn't a bonus. That was your November benefit paid early because November 1st fell on a Saturday. This is where it gets interesting for your budgeting. You received 2 SSI payments in October, your regular October payment on October 1st and your November payment on October 31st. So right now, in November, you need to make that October 31st payment stretch through the entire month. And here's the next critical date, December 31st, 2025. That's when you'll receive your January 2026 SSI payment. Why? Because January 1st is a federal holiday. So you're getting that payment early again. Can you see the pattern here? The Social Security Administration doesn't send payments on weekends or federal holidays, so they advance them to the last business day before. This is why careful budgeting becomes absolutely essential. Now, for those of you receiving regular Social Security retirement or SSDI benefits, your schedule is different. Let me give you the November dates you need to know. November 3rd, if you started receiving benefits before May 1997, or if you receive both Social Security and SSI, your payment comes on the 3rd of every month. November 12th, if your birthday falls between the 1st and 10th of any month, this is your payment date. November 19th, birthdays between the 11th and 20th, this is when you get paid. November 26th, if you are born between the 21st and 31st, you're receiving your benefit on the 26th. December follows the same pattern, 3rd, 12th, 19th, and 26th. But always check because holidays can shift these dates. Here's my question for you. Have you marked these dates on your calendar? Do you have automatic bill payments scheduled that might hit your account before your benefit arrives? Because one of the biggest mistakes seniors make is assuming their payment will be there on the same date every month without accounting for these weekend and holiday shifts. the direct deposit requirement that's already here. Speaking of payment dates, there's a massive change that took effect on October 1st, 2025, and if you're still receiving paper checks, you need to hear this right now. As of October 1st, direct deposit is now mandatory for Social Security benefits. The Social Security Administration reports that only about 1% of beneficiaries are still receiving paper checks, but if you're in that 1%, you're facing delays and potential problems. Why did they make this change? Security and efficiency. Paper checks can be lost, stolen, or delayed in the mail. Direct deposit means your money hits your account on the exact date it's supposed to, every single time. No waiting for the mailman. No worrying about check cashing fees. No risk of it being stolen from your mailbox. If you haven't set up direct deposit yet, you need to do this immediately. You can set it up through your My Social Security account online by calling Social Security or by visiting your local office, though I'll warn you, field offices are operating at reduced capacity right now, which brings me to my next point. The government shutdown reality check now. You might have heard news about the partial government shutdown that's been going on. I know it sounds alarming. It's now in its 6th week, and you might be wondering, is my Social Security payment safe? Here's the good news, and this is straight from the Social Security Administration. Your benefit disbursements have not been affected. Social Security is considered mandatory spending, which means payments continue regardless of shutdown status. Your retirement benefits, your SSDI, your SSI, they're all still being processed and paid on schedule. However, and this is important, there are some impacts you should know about. Phone lines have been experiencing longer wait times. There were some outages in October. Field offices are operating at reduced capacity. This is why the SSA is pushing everyone toward digital tools. Have you created your My Social Security account yet? If not, this is the perfect time. Because right now, online claims are up 15% as more people realize they can handle most Social Security business from home. You can check your payment history, update your information, get your benefit verification letter, and even apply for benefits, all without waiting on hold or traveling to an office. The disability benefits breakthrough. Now let's talk about something that affects over 8 million Americans receiving Social Security disability insurance. If you're working or thinking about returning to work while on SSDI, this information could be life-changing. The substantial gainful activity threshold for 2025 is holding steady at $1,620 per month for non-blind individuals. If you're blind, that threshold is $2,700 per month. What does this mean? It means you can earn up to these amounts through work without losing your disability benefits. But here's what's new and exciting. The Ticket to Work program has expanded its incentives. Trial work periods now have a higher threshold of $1,160 per month. This gives you more flexibility to test your ability to work without immediately jeopardizing your benefits. And get this, claims processing has hit a milestone. 80% of SSDI applications are now being decided within 6 months. That's up from 70% in 2024. Why? The Social Security Administration is using AI-assisted reviews to speed up the process. If you know someone who's been waiting for a disability decision, this is genuinely good news. There's also something new on the horizon, integration with vocational rehabilitation programs specifically designed for remote and hybrid jobs. In our post-pandemic world, more jobs can be done from home, which opens up opportunities for people with disabilities who might not be able to commute to a traditional workplace. Here's my question. If you're on SSDI and you've been hesitant to try working part-time, what's holding you back? Because with these new thresholds and protections, you have more room to earn income than ever before. The SSI simplification that's coming for those 7.5 million Americans receiving supplemental security income. There's a technological breakthrough coming in early 2026 that you need to know about. The Social Security Administration is launching something called the SSI Simplifier app in the first quarter of 2026. This app will allow you to report income changes in real time, which is huge. Why? Because right now, one of the biggest problems with SSI is overpayments. Here's how overpayments happen. Let's say you get a part-time job or receive a gift of money, and your SSI needs to be adjusted. But there's a delay in reporting it, or the paperwork gets processed slowly. Suddenly, you've been overpaid, and now the Social Security Administration wants that money back. In fiscal year 2025 alone, SSA recovered $1.2 billion in overpayments. That's $1.2 billion that went out to beneficiaries and then had to be paid back, often through reduced monthly benefits. It's financially devastating for people who are already living on limited income. The SSI Simplifier app aims to eliminate this problem. You can report changes immediately through your phone. The system adjusts your benefit in real time. No more surprise overpayment notices. No more having your already small benefit reduced to pay back money you didn't even realize you weren't supposed to receive. If you're receiving SSI, mark your calendar for early 2026. When this app launches, get it immediately. It could save you from financial hardship down the road. Federal retirement. The numbers you need to know now. For those of you who are federal retirees under FERS or CSRS, let's talk about your situation because your COLA works differently than Social Security. For 2025, FERS retirees are receiving a 2% adjustment, while CSRS retirees are getting 2.5%. Looking ahead to 2026, FERS stays at 2%, but CSRS jumps to 2.8%, matching the Social Security COLA. Why the difference? It comes down to how the formulas work. CSRS uses the full CPI increase, while FERS uses CPI minus 1 percentage point. So when inflation-driven adjustments happen, CSRS retirees typically see slightly higher increases. Your annuity calculations are also being updated for high 3 salaries, with the cap sitting at around $176,100. This matters for anyone who's still working as a federal employee and calculating their future retirement benefit. But here's something that should concern you. There are proposals advancing in Congress right now to phase out the FERS supplement by 2030. The FERS supplement is that bridge payment you receive from retirement until age 62 when you can claim Social Security. Eliminating it would save the government an estimated $12 billion over a decade, but it would also create a significant income gap for federal retirees who retire before 62. The Office of Personnel Management is reporting a 5% uptick in voluntary separations, partly because of uncertainty around these proposals. If you're a federal employee nearing retirement, you need to factor these potential changes into your planning. There's also talk of enhanced survivor annuities, which would tie into a $6,000 senior tax deduction that's being extended to 2029 in budget negotiations. Keep your eyes on this, because it could significantly impact your tax situation. The 401k revolution happening right now, let's shift gears and talk about retirement savings, specifically 401k plans, because there are major changes happening that could supercharge your retirement nest egg. For 2025, the contribution limit is $23,500. That's up $500 from last year. If you're 50 or older, you get an additional catch-up contribution of $7,500, bringing your total possible contribution to $31,000. But here's the game changer that many people don't know about. If you're between ages 60 and 63, you can now contribute an extra $11,250 in catch-up contributions instead of just $7,500. That brings your total possible contribution to $34,750. Think about that for a moment. If you're in that 60 to 63 age window and you're still working, you can shelter nearly $35,000 from taxes every year by maximizing your 401k. Even if you can't hit that maximum, every extra dollar you contribute is a dollar working for your future. Now, there's a catch coming in 2026 for high earners. If you make over a certain threshold, your catch-up contributions will be required to go into a Roth 401k instead of a traditional pre-tax account. What does this mean? You don't get the tax deduction now, but the money grows tax-free and comes out tax-free in retirement. For some of you, this is actually better. If you expect to be in a higher tax bracket in retirement, or if tax rates increase in the future, paying taxes now at today's rates and getting tax-free income later could save you thousands. Auto-enrollment is also becoming standard practice. New 401k plans are automatically enrolling employees at 3 to 10% contribution rates with an opt-out option. If you're still working, check your enrollment status. You might already be contributing without realizing it, or you might be at the default rate when you could be contributing more. The Department of Labor has also approved stable value funds in 401k plans for lower volatility. These are investments that aim to preserve principal while earning modest returns, sort of a middle ground between money market funds and bonds. If you're close to retirement and want to reduce risk, this is an option worth exploring. The pension landscape, what's left? Let's be honest about pensions for a moment. Traditional defined benefit pension plans now cover less than 15% of the private workforce. If you have a pension, you're in an increasingly rare and fortunate position. There was some good news in 2025. The UAW won partial pension restorations in their contracts. But overall, the trend continues away from pensions and toward 401k, style defined contribution plans where you bear the investment risk. If you have a pension, here's what you need to know. Make sure you understand your survivor benefits options. When you retire or when you pass away, what happens to that income? Does your spouse continue receiving it? At what percentage? These decisions are typically irrevocable once you retire, so get them right the first time. There's also increasing debate around ESG investing, environmental, social, and governance factors. About 20% of retirement plans are now adding climate risk disclosures. Regardless of your personal views on this, it's affecting how retirement funds are being invested. If you care about where your money is invested, now is the time to look at your fund options and make active choices. The notice is coming to your mailbox. Let's talk about something practical that's happening right now. If you're receiving Social Security or SSI, personalized notices about your 2026 COLA increase are rolling out. These notices are arriving by mail in early December, and they're also available through your My Social Security portal starting in late November. Here's what you need to do. Log into your My Social Security account around November 25th. Your notice should be there. It will show your exact new benefit amount, broken down month by month. This isn't an estimate. This is your actual amount. Check it carefully. Make sure the numbers look right based on your current benefit. If something seems off, contact Social Security immediately. It's much easier to fix an error before the new amounts start paying out than it is to correct it afterward. You'll also want to update your budget. If you're getting an extra $56 per month, where is that money going? Are you going to build an emergency fund? Pay down debt? Cover increasing costs? Whatever you decide, make it intentional. The advocacy push you should know about behind the scenes, there's a significant advocacy effort happening right now that could affect your benefits. Several senior advocacy groups are pushing for what they call COLA Plus supplements, temporary additional payments on top of the regular COLA. One proposal in the Senate suggests an extra $200 per month to help cover energy costs, which have risen about 4% year over year. This isn't law yet, and it may never become law, but it represents growing recognition that the standard COLA formula might not fully capture the inflation seniors are actually experiencing. Here's the reality. The COLA is based on the Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners, which measures the spending patterns of working-age people. But seniors spend more on healthcare and housing categories where inflation has been higher than average. So while a 2.8% COLA sounds good, it might not stretch as far as you need it to. This is why advocacy matters. If you're part of AARP or any senior organization, they're fighting for these enhanced benefits. Your voice matters in this conversation. The trust fund warning you can't ignore. Now I need to share something serious with you, even though it's uncomfortable. The Social Security Trust Fund is projected to be depleted by 2033. Let me be clear about what this means and what it doesn't mean. It does not mean Social Security will disappear in 2033. Even if the trust fund runs dry, Social Security will still collect payroll taxes from current workers, and those taxes will cover about 77% of promised benefits. But here's what it does mean. Without action from Congress, everyone's benefits could be reduced by about 23% starting in 2033. For someone receiving $2,000 per month, that would drop to $1,540. That's a $460 monthly cut, $5.20 per year. This is why fiscal debates around Social Security are so intense right now. Congress will need to either raise taxes, reduce benefits, increase the retirement age, or some combination of all three to shore up the system. I'm telling you this not to scare you, but to prepare you. If you're currently receiving benefits, you're likely to be protected from major cuts. Politicians are very hesitant to reduce benefits for current retirees. But if you're not yet retired, or if you're in your early 60s, these discussions will directly impact your retirement planning. Your action plan starting today, we've covered a lot of ground here. So let me give you a clear action plan you can start implementing today. Step 1, if you haven't already, create your My Social Security account at ssa.gov. Log in before November 25th to see your personalized COLA notice. Step 2, if you're still receiving paper checks, set up direct deposit immediately. This is now mandatory and will prevent payment delays. Step 3, mark your payment dates on your calendar. If you receive SSI, remember there's no November payment, budget accordingly. And mark December 31st for your January SSI payment. Step 4, review your Medicare premiums. The standard Part B premium for 2025 is being offset by your COLA, but higher earners pay more through IRM-A, income-related monthly adjustment amounts. Make sure you know what your actual net increase will be after Medicare premiums are deducted. Step 5, if you're on SSDI and thinking about working, research the Ticket to Work program. With the new thresholds and incentives, You have more flexibility than you might think. Step 6. If you're receiving SSI, watch for the SSI Simplifier app in early 2026. Download it immediately to avoid overpayment problems. Step 7. If you're still working and contributing to a 401k and you're between 60 and 63, maximize that enhanced catch-up contribution of $11,250. This is a limited time window to supercharge your retirement savings. Step 8. If you're a federal retiree, stay informed about the proposed FERS supplement phase-out. This could significantly impact your retirement income plan. The bottom line here is what it all comes down to. 2026 is bringing real increases to your Social Security benefits. 2.8% is meaningful, especially after some lean years. But with those increases come changes to payment schedules, new technology tools, and policy shifts that you need to understand. The seniors who will thrive in this environment are the ones who stay informed, who use the digital tools available, who budget carefully around payment schedules, and who advocate for their needs. The Social Security system isn't perfect. It's facing long-term challenges. But right now, today, it's providing essential income to 71 million Americans, and those benefits are going up in 2026. Your job is to make sure you're getting every dollar you're entitled to, that you understand when and how you will receive it, and that you're planning for both the opportunities and the challenges ahead. So let me ask you one final question. Are you going to sit back and let these changes happen to you, or are you going to take control of your Social Security and retirement benefits starting today? The choice is yours. The information is here. Now it's time to act. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video where we'll dive even deeper into Medicare changes for 2026 and how they interact with your Social Security benefits. You won't want to miss it.